Show me the way to heaven's gate. Show me the way and I'll walk.
Welcome, folks. Today we're talking to Eve of Eden fame. Hi, Eve. That's a great jacket.
Isn't it? God made it for me before I left Eden.
Speaking of your leaving Eden, I understand you were evicted.
I wouldn't call it an eviction. At some point, the kids need to leave the nest.
Could you start at the beginning of the story?
God made a human out of dust and
That's
then breathed life into
amazing.
it.
But I thought it was a man.
It was more androgynous than a
And
man.
what happened after God brought it to life?
God planted this amazing garden and told the human that it could eat anything of it except one tree.
The
Tree of
tree?
knowledge of good and evil.
That sounds tempting.
It was.
Why did God say you couldn't eat it?
He said we'd die that day, but the human didn't really know what that meant, nor did we.
And when did you come into the picture?
God thought the earth person shouldn't be alone, so God made animals, but they didn't quite do the trick. So, God made me from the earth creature's rib. And when God made me, it changed the human. That's when he became a man. True companions.
So what went wrong?
Oh, that clever serpent told us that we wouldn't die if we ate the fruit and that we'd have the knowledge of God.
What did you do?
The fruit looked tasty, and who wouldn't want to be like God? So I ate it, and Adam ate it too.
And obviously you didn't die.
Physically not yet, but we died to our innocence.
What do you mean?
One example is that we suddenly became so embarrassed about being naked.
Did God find out?
Not right away. We heard God in the breeze, we got scared and hid. God asked where we were, and as soon as Adam mentioned our nakedness, God knew what had happened.
So what did you do?
Well, typical. Adam blamed me and God. I blamed the snake.
And what did God do?
God told me that I'd have a lot more kids, and that's a lot more work, and a lot of women die in childbirth. Even if I didn't want to have more kids, God said I'd still desire my man, and because of it, he'd rule over me.
Has that proven true?
In some ways, but I like desire. Adam teases that I'm his Garden of Eden.
And how does this relate to your eviction?
We couldn't stay in the garden with our new knowledge, so God sent us away to a place where we'd have to work, to eat.
How's your relationship with God now?
It's not as close as in Eden, but God still takes care of us. Like this jacket.
Do you ever regret your decision?
Not really. I can't imagine not having knowledge, but I do fantasize about the garden.
Thank you, Eve, for a fascinating conversation.
Show me the way to heaven's gate. Show me the way